Got my eyes on you, all this loneliness on you. Baby, now I got my eyes on you. I got my eyes on you. When you tell me love's so true. Truth is that I know it's only you. When you tell me love's so true. And when you say that there's no love that's in your eyes, baby, now I find it's all so true. And when you say that you're a lover in disguise, turn me around to be your fool. You say your soul is true. Listen to the rhythm in you. Feeling like a twisted shade of blue. You play your love so cool, just like the old king who's a fool. Just another broken heart in you. He should have stayed, but then you left him in too fast. Trying to find a heart that love was fast. And when you whispered all those things you had in mind, now all you hear are the tears inside. Waiting to say that you love me, waiting to say that you care, waiting to say that you love me. Another fate for me, just a little hate, you'll see. A broken heart that brings me to my knees. And then you say that there's no love that's in your eyes. Baby, now I find it all so true. And when you say that you're a lover in disguise, twist me around to be your fool.
We wish we were that big. They wish they were this good. The Hawks.
Stick around. We fixed the audio problem. Thank you for joining. stick around. Trying to get some things organized here. Had a rough start. Had a rough morning. Had a rough ride in. So stick around. We've got some goodies coming up. We got Reality 101, which is right in your face. And some news from the Tesla tech that'll blow your mind. You know what, folks? It's getting to the point where these stories need to be verified, and if we cannot verify them, what we're going to have to do is actually start storming, not the police department, not the government. What we need to do is start protesting at the TV stations. Fake news, false news. No, deliberate misinformation. Charge them back with exactly the word that they're accusing everyone else when they sit there and find the facts. Oh, that's misinformation. We're going to make believe over here instead. And these people, dude, just shut the fuck up. You can go jump in the lake, man. I'm only going where I care to go, not by your direction or your concern. Thank you. Man, I tell you, Tesla Tech was off the fucking hook. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and blow the... I'm going to go ahead and blow this. Just a second. This is the biggest finale that they could have had at the conference, and I'm the only one that I know. Me and Russell Anderson are the only one that I know that actually caught this. You see how it appears? It's almost... This is airborne. This is the same effect I focused on here, and this is a TR3B, the best we can tell. Now, something that is a discrepancy from what we're looking at visually and what we're looking at here. It's caused by the sackcloth effect, or a coal cloth effect. And what a coal cloth effect is, if something is lit uniformly in front of something else, which is the actual source, you're not going to see the source of the light, but you will see what is lit by the light. So with your naked eye, you won't be seeing the orbs so much as a little white dot. However, these flashing orbs here, it's like taking a sheet and taking a flashlight behind the sheet. You hit the sheet with the flashlight, stand on the other side, you're not going to see the flashlight source. You're going to see where the light is striking the sheet. And this is what's causing this effect with my camera. I had to talk to somebody to verify what I'm talking about, and that has recently been done. And I claimed this before. But this here, the third element is facing away from me, so I don't see the third element. It's shadowed. And this is the same thing as what, again, we observed magnetic lines of force trapping this plasma around the, well, we're going to have to come up, emitter? Rather than an antenna, it should be called an emitter because it's the actual source of the information. That dang thing was there for all 3 days. It wasn't until the last day anybody noticed it. I met people that were flying in. I think I bumped across our government interest in the entire time too, because there's no way the government's going to let this Tesla tech happen without somebody there in order to make sure they just didn't, bring the most top secret thing to the and throw it up on display. Or the fact somebody figured something out, and of course they don't want you to figure it out. Try to, kick you in the knees for progress. But isn't that fucking weird? And like I said, let me blow this up a little bit more and you can actually see a little bit better what's going on here. What? How'd that happen? It did it again. You son of a bitch. Just a second. Oh, there it is. All right, just a second. Why is it fucking doing that? I'm selecting a view and it's selecting the window underneath it. Yeah, there's all sorts of, quote, bugs in this system right now. There you go. It's as much as I can, but as you can see, this is not atmosphere or anything like that moving in front of a light. As a matter of fact, there's actually a mountain behind this object. It's floating directly over Albuquerque. Directly over Albuquerque. Isn't that a beautiful glow? And one of the things that, one of the topics I was able to speak with somebody, and unfortunately I did a lot of speaking. Now I'm going to give, the same thing I said yesterday, I'm going to give the trolls credit. I do get excited and talk, but on my show I'm a little bit more selective. The only thing that I talk over is absolute bullshit, okay, or personal attacks, and I won't tolerate it. However, I got so damn excited I could not freaking shut up the entire fucking event, and I did blow a interview, and it was completely unintentional. People, if you have something, keeping it to yourself is extremely damaging, okay, to yourself, those around you. Hello, evil. Thank you for joining today. Man, I tell you, I'll tell you this story. We get there, we check into the motel, and as soon as we drop our stuff, we're out of the room. We're downstairs, mixing and mingling and poking our noses into every nook and cranny of everything that we can find. And you get up to the room, everything's still going on after dark, and there's little groups milling around downstairs, and it's a constant ant farm, okay? Lot of private tables and whispers in one side, and on the other side, little groups came, and there'd be 4 or 5 people listening to someone's presentation that wasn't, a speaker or anything. They're just listening to a presentation. There were several small groups that went table to table for each presentation as well. Alien scientist, dude, he is off the hook. His excitement, his enthusiasm pushes him forward. And he was like a kid in a candy store. I'm not joking. That guy was actually dancing on his tiptoes almost all the way through this. It was fantastic. And this thing, I came upstairs during the dark, and I went out for a cigarette, just opened the the sliding door so the smoke could go out, and I was kind of hanging by the door, and I glanced up, and I seen this thing, and I said, that's a airplane along the landing path coming into, for a landing, but I only just glanced at this thing. The next night, I look up and I see it again. I says, yep, that must be the landing thing, because the idea, the concept of one of these things sitting directly over Albuquerque was just absurd. You couldn't think that. And the last day, I spent more than 2 minutes, in the room, because everyone's pretty well gone by noon. They're checked out. There's still people that their flights were canceled. And that's what actually ended the story. When I glanced up, there was a serious problem. Everyone's flights were canceled. There was just a tremendous windstorm that came by. And directly after the windstorm, this thing's sitting there. All the flights out of Albuquerque were canceled. Rescheduled for morning. And this thing is sitting there. Are you kidding me? All these trained observers that are excited in order to show what they have found. I found the finale at, and they missed it. I couldn't believe it. No, quite the contrary. I have more than enough in order to keep me busy with a new, let me see. I can have a brand new person on the show every day for a month and a half, easily. And then out of the cards that I collected, they're sending me CDs, their materials in order to broadcast. I'm not the only one working on this, but it seems that I am the one that is accomplished the most in creating one of these networks. And one of their biggest problems is not the production. They could produce videos all day long. It's the distribution and mythology and the technology in order to actually get it into place. And as far as being prepared to launch, rather than being concept or we can do this and we can do that, I am the only one apparently that actually has the network, the mechanics of the network in place. And again, for those of you that may be joining brand new, I spent the last 2 years, actually 4 years, creating mythology that we can have 3 broadcasts and switch between them. I can take and control up to 7 live broadcasts, audio and video, simultaneously on one computer. When I said that, people started really swallowing their gum. That was not anticipated by any of these people. And it was a pinnacle. It was the, what did I do with, oh, I know what that is. I mean, these people, I was a motor mouth, yes, but they absorbed as much information as I was absorbing. But unfortunately, I cut off the flow of information to me, that's all. The flow of information for me was outgoing. If I didn't pick up on the flow, I got their card and I asked for, forgiveness. There was a couple of people I was able to catch up with after the morning show yesterday and speak with, and I'm pretty sure I recovered with them. There was only one person that was indicated I would not recover. And the reason for that is because the gentleman that was sitting with us, yes, and why don't you go talk to the people that were at that convention instead of speculating and worrying about your own situation? Why don't you do something about it? So now you're going to go around saying that I have AIDS? That's a good one. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go anywhere, man. And if you go barking about that, that's a beautiful one, because, again, you have to show that your information is correct. The burden of proof lies on you. So you want to go around insinuating I may have AIDS or something of that nature, I got news for you. Your name is going to be on the first title and name set. It's going to be changed, we'll put it that way. Anyway, so the convention really went well. I slept until 9 this morning. Didn't get in until 1 o'clock last night. And I'm worn out. I feel like I've run a marathon for 3 days. I might have. I did more walking there than I do here, that's for damn sure. Up, down, and the dang elevator, there's one that stopped, and I didn't even think twice. I hit the stairs. So I am actually pretty wore out. Let me go ahead and play a little bit more music. I'll bring up the news here in a second as soon as I sort it out. See what we got here. No, I don't want CBC. Devil May Care Panacea right here on WDRN. Thank you for tuning in today.
Please do not be alarmed by anything you see or hear around you. You are bound to feel some initial ill effects as you've been rescued from certain death at an improbability level of 2 to the power of 267,709 to 1 against, possibly much higher. We are now cruising at a level of 2 to the power of 25,000 to 1 against unfalling, and we will be restoring normality as soon as we are sure what is normal anyway. Thank you.
WDRN Productions and WDRN production staff may be considered complete works of fiction. Any similarity to reality is only due to the dimensional rift in the perspective vortex. Please adjust your perspective vortex translator devices for enjoyable listening pleasure. WDRN can take no responsibility for improperly adjusted perspective vortex translations and currently operating at the frequency of somatic 900 megahertz.
Hey y'all, Fusing the Agenda here. If you're an independent journalist struggling to get your story out, contact one of our mediators in our chat room for review. Get your story featured on the Hawk Ethernet Radio, part of the Wicked Development Radio Network. Flash submission guidelines. Video or portion must not be longer than 3 minutes, or may be played with a startup point of 3 minutes. All material submitted to WDRN is the sole responsibility of the submitter. All content is fair use practice. With your help, WDRN will rise to the top of all available news networks. This has been Defusing the Agenda. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, we're going to be shifting in here into the news. Thank you for joining. Oh, wow, this is... you have no idea, folks. This is going to be getting cranked up like you can't keep up with, because I can't keep up with it. Can you keep a hell no? Stick around. A lot of things go. All right, this is messed up. This is messed up. Having all these problems in the morning, that ain't right. See if I can trim down the demand here a little bit. Whoop. Okay. All right, that should help. All righty. There. Wow. Arizona State President says Marcopia audit report is being prepared. Did they ever get the machines? They got the password from Colorado. It was the same password apparently for Texas. And I bet you there's a few people upset about that, huh? Thing is, when they got the source code, I think there's going to be some executives packing and leaving the country. We need to stop messing with the government at this point and start messing around with the actual news services. They're not credible. They are absolutely 100% politically driven. They are 100% now politically controlled. Again, all of the systems, all of the logistics for WDRN is complete. And it will be flying. I will be launching. One of the biggest problems I have is unlimited traffic. And I think I figured it out. What I'm going to do is embed. I'm going to use a private broadcast on YouTube. Pick that private broadcast up on a website and then forward. That way YouTube can't censor me. My load is still back on them, and it's a private broadcast, so they can't censor me and say anything we bloody well want to. Take the login, enter it into the browser so you can go directly to the video, and we can still use the unlimited services of YouTube or any other platform that is scaled to that size. And pipeline, that's what they refer to it. Pipeline the signal through them in order to pick up the load, and then run that to a web page for login. That way you're not going to YouTube. You won't require a YouTube name and password even. And it would be open broadcast. from an individual website. And then those websites we can multiply. You can take WDRN. If you have a website, you can embed WDRN into your website for 24-hour broadcasting and content. Even if it's Amazon. Sure. Example, if you're selling products and you're an advertiser with us, you'll be able to pick up our broadcast and place it on your webpage, multiplying the viewers exponentially. And all the logistics is done. All I need is the equipment and a couple of people in order to coordinate with. And this thing is going. Arizona State President Karen Fann provided a brief update on the progress of the reported 2020 election audit conducted by Maricopa County. The Republican leader said that the companies contracted to conduct the review, led by the Cyber Ninjas, are putting together a report on their findings from the audit, which has been subject to intense criticism by county officials and others, including Arizona Secretary of State Kate Hobbs. Well, obviously, there's a lot more words that can be in there. Instead of using criticized, fear might be an intense fear by county officials and others. That would be actually, because otherwise, why would they actually criticize anything, right? Confirming adult audit companies are preparing the draft report to present to the Senate team. Senate team will then review for accuracy and clarity for final report, which is released publicly. Now remember, they're playing around with the chain of command over there, and if they don't like what they're trying to produce, they just simply leave and lobotomize the chain of command in order to pass legislation, in order to fulfill a subpoena. They just leave for a week. They take a vacation and forget it. You know, I deny the government because I work for the government. Doesn't work. It doesn't function, man. That is your job. You receive a subpoena for government records from the government, and you are a government employee. That's 18 U.S.C. 648, misappropriations of funds. And every single one of these mother truckers in Texas that you see this pattern of behavior, the guy that was supposed to be receiving this report says, well, I'm not going to receive it, blocking the report from the Senate yet again, or at least he thought so. Are you kidding me? How many different efforts do we need to sit there and watch before we actually sit there and take action ourselves? And you want to know something? Actually, 90% of this is driven by the press. And it's time in order to sit there and step up the game. This ain't a game to us. It is to them. And the only way in order to win these games, okay, the only way to win these games is to be the last one playing. To remove all the assets of your opponent and have your opponent give up, not you. You see, a lot of the trolls come in here and they say, oh, well, you lost on here, you lost. No, I haven't lost a damn thing, dude. I haven't failed in anything. You walk in a situation that is ongoing. Oh, well, you failed here, you failed here. No. What do you mean I failed? Heck, the only thing we got is wheels, tires, and the frame, and the rims, and the brake system on it. We haven't mounted the motor, the body, or the chassis. And you're saying, oh, well, you failed building a car. No, I'm in the middle of building a car. What has failed is the trolls realizing how much work has been done. Or the fact that they were irrelevant. Fan was responding to a Twitter account that warned people to beware of a tweet appearing to quote former Overstock CEO Patrick Byrne, a supporter of the audit, saying that the report is being finished and delivered to the state senate next week. Oh, they had to responding to a twit. Well, how appropriate. Top Arizona Senate Republicans, including Fan, recently issued fresh subpoenas. Why? You can't deny the first one. The second one that you issued should have been arrest warrants for 18 U.S.C. 648. Misappropriation of funds. You refused to do the job that you actually was hired to do. Being a government employee, you cannot obstruct government function. That is not doing your job. That's the literal definition. I hire you in order to pick up this field and keep the trash out of it, and then you just sit there all day saying, I deny you, but you got to pay me. And that's what these people are doing in Texas. I deny to do my job, and you still have to pay me. Forget that. You don't have a job. You just you misappropriated the funds on how many paychecks now? It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $5,000 a month or $25,000. It doesn't matter what the price is. You just misappropriated funds from, wait a minute. Failure to report. I bet you Texas has that. All right. When should I report fraud to Federal Trade Communication? This is from the FTC. No, that's not what I'm looking for. You see, that one, having a subpoena from a government, your superior, is the same thing as, you know, here it is, penalty for misuse of federal funds. Violations of 648 and 641 and 643, 645. Wow. Okay. 10 years imprisonment and or $10,000 fine. In contrast, 18 U.S.C. 643, 654 provide maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment and an equal fine to the amount taken or double the amount. (42 U.S. Code 12753) penalties for misuse of funds. Here it is, right here. Here's another one. Reduce the line of credit participating in jurisdictions. Oh, this is directly to the government because it says jurisdiction. Let's see. If the secretary finds after responsible notice, oh my God, that's just certification, and the opportunity for a hearing, the participating jurisdiction has failed to comply substantially with any provision of this part until the secretary is satisfied that there is no longer any such failure to comply. The secretary shall reduce the line of credit in participating jurisdiction, home investment, trust fund. Wow. So here's your leverage. If they refuse in order to produce, they can actually take all of the county's funds, not only for vote and dismiss these people, but they also can withhold funds for all the other services, including the mayors and everything like that, contained within the county. Wow. Okay, let's see. fraud, waste, and abuse of NIH grant funds. No, FraudNet, knowledgeable federal misappropriation lawyer. See what he has to say. Federal Criminal Defense, Daniel Perlman, misappropriation, top-rated misappropriation attorney in the U.S. You know what? Let's go ahead and do a call. Let's see here.
Good morning, Daniel Parman Law. How can I help you?
Hi there. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How can I help you today, sir?
My name is Alan. I'm with WDRN, Wicked Development Radio Network, and we have bumped across this gentleman. He seems to be extremely knowledgeable on misappropriation of funds, especially like an official misappropriating funds. Is that his defense specialty?
I would say it's more in criminal defense. It's
Well,
more
no,
of a
yeah, it would be a
specialty.
criminal defense. Let's say I was some type of a government official, and someone's paying me money for licenses, like for business licenses, and I just put it in my pocket and walk away. That's what he defends against. Is that correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a single question, and I am currently on the air. It's a morning show that I do with Core Belief, and as well as WBOU Chicago. This may be mirrored there, and I'm not trying to put any pressure. I'm just letting you know that I just simply have a simple question. If I could speak to maybe one of the interns or secondary lawyer that may have about 2 minutes. We've spoken extremely highly because we've covered a couple of your cases today, okay, that you've published. And I was going through some of the details. The question I have is a cross between misappropriation, which I think is 18 U.S.C. 648, and the 600 series has a lot of things to say about misappropriation, but I'm asking, my question is based on how does that interact with 18 U.S.C. 1512? If a witness came forward of such a misappropriation, how does that protect the witness? It's a general question. It has nothing to do with a specific case, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Let me see if I could get Mr. Perlman. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, that would be so cool if I can actually speak to him directly. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. 1 moment.
This is going to be interesting. Now, where is this guy out of? Let's see. This is federal, so I'm at the right level.
Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't able to reach Mr. Perlman at the moment, but would you like me to leave a message and have him or Mr. Paralegals get back to you?
Well, actually, the issue here is actually bizarre. Okay, I apologize. What we've done is we've taken a look at some of your descriptions here concerning misappropriation, and we realized that a subpoena given to a government actor by the government would be a duty. And we identified a duty that would attach to actually their job. So under 648, if they refuse to do their job, they misappropriated their job. This is actually in reference to the subpoenas given in Texas. The fact that these clerks and everything has refused to do their job and denied, it's the same thing as if I told you to clean up a field and you just sit there demanding money all the time, taking up my time to supervise you, and you refuse to pick up a single piece of trash. You're not doing your job. That's misappropriation. And they've issued a second subpoena now, and it seems to me the first subpoena should have equaled an arrest warrant for misappropriation of funds, because that's exactly what they're hired to do, is to take whatever request the government has of government files, and that goes under obstruction of a official process. They can't deny it. They need to be arrested right now, and you would probably have some nice clients for yourself. But here's the problem. Wouldn't the subpoena be denial of performance? Not a denial of the request of the subpoena, but actually a denial of performance. Does that hold true to your logic? I mean, if you just walked off the job or just sat there and did your nails all day while working at the law office, wouldn't you be misappropriating funds? I love it. Wow. Why would you say that? You do realize you have no, Flathead. That's not Flathead. Fuck you. We'll just refer to you as insane as Flathead. Is that all right? You know what? But I'm going to actually follow this up. Let's see. Oh. That's serious, folks. And yeah, it's the same difference. I got news for you. Okay? Not only did they not do the news, but the people that requested the, or actually created the subpoena, are now also tangled in this, only reissuing the subpoena like it was lost in the mail or something. All right. So the people that received this subpoena, they can't deny it. There's no denying a search warrant or doing your job today because, well, it just happens to be convenient for you in order to prevent others from finding out what you've done, right? Now these trolls should be all over this rather than sitting there cursing me. They should be sitting there saying, yeah, we've got another one. We've got somebody that's more criminal than Mouse. Oh my. And that's what these trolls, they should be excited. I just gave them something to troll that would be legitimate to troll. I just gave it to you. And here you are sitting here flailing your arms. Okay, well, not Flathead. In other words, mentally ill Hugh of Flathead is here, and he said that he felt so sorry for the lady, and it's good that, and I'm babbling. You see that? Okay, but he's the only one babbling. He doesn't understand if you're a government employee, and the most official order comes from your boss, and you just sit on your fucking ass, that's misappropriation of funds. That's a subpoena delivered to these people. They refused and denied a subpoena. There is no such thing as deny a subpoena. Okay, especially if you're a government agency. Now, if you are a private agency and the information is not available, your reply is information not available, no such record. But obviously, they can't say that. They're the government employee, and they are actually in charge of the record. That means immediate dismissal, criminal charges, jail, withholding governmental records from the government itself is a serious fucking offense. Let's try that again. National Federal Defense, Lower and Walken. Let's check it out. You know what? How about if I call them anonymously, worried that I might be getting a problem. Let's say I will just remain anonymous.
Thank you for calling Lowther Walker LLC. If you know your party's extension, please enter it now or press 8 for the name directory. For Joshua Lowther, press 1. For Murdoch Walker, press 2. Please hold while your call is transferred to Joshua Lowther.
This is Joshua Lowther. Please leave a voicemail. I'll return your call as soon as I'm...
Let's try that again.
Thank you for calling Lowther Walker LLC. If you know your party's extension, please enter it now or press 8 for the name directory. For
What's going on is they refused their subpoena. I think that that's misappropriation of funds. They were hired to process and operate within the government operations. They are actually instructing a government function, which is a severe criminal act.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 9-1.
Okay, that's not working. Let's try one last thing, going directly to the operator.
Thank you for calling Lowther Walker LLC. If you know your party's extension, please enter it now or please hold while your call is transferred to receptionist.
This is Joshua Lowther. Please leave a voicemail. I'll return your...
No, you're not, because they're not answering the phone, you stupid fuck. You know, why don't you go bye-bye? Oh, I'm tripping you as fast as I can. Well, that's great. Look at me. I'm continuing forward. No matter how you try to trip me up, I'm still continuing on. Isn't that amazing that you have no effect here? Go back to your own channel, make your own shows. Grant fraud lawyers. Education to grant fund, fraud against the government. Here we go. I want this question answered now. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is directly from the United Department of Justice. Would you consider that just rambling? Huh? Let's see. Application for appropriate statute, federal procurement, fraud unit. Department of Defense voluntary disclosure program. Provisions of handling something. Yeah, that's a specific, and I don't know exactly what that means. Plea bargaining, Medicare, Social Security fraud, Department of Defense memorandum understanding. And you have to understand, we're talking about obstruction. But this is the highest form of obstruction. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Yeah, how many people have been sitting there mere question you didn't answer, and a police officer will arrest you, for the merest, and so how many people get convicted on a regular basis? Obstruction of justice, obstruction of government function. How many people just simply sitting in the lobby has been charged with obstruction of official process? That's the actual title, obstruction of official process. A subpoena is official process, and a government agent does not have any choice but to fulfill that subpoena. They can't deny it. Reporting misuse or waste of federal and state money. Here we go. Let's see here. This is California. Whistleblower protection laws apply. Oh, well, we can do the same thing in California. We can actually probably connect this to COVID with misinformation, okay? Saying that it's science in order to pack the virus as close to your mouth and nose as possible and concentrate that virus there, and that you can't expel any contaminants without it collecting in your mask and breathing them right back in. Is that science? So I think that we can use some of this if there's a government employee like Fossey claiming false narratives. It's no longer political. You have to prove your science in court now, and there's only one way of doing that, and guess what? It's first being charged. Nobody's doing their job. FBI ain't doing their job. You know, the Army's not doing their job. The Army hasn't sat there. They're considering vaccines, but they're not considering replacing the gas mask with a paper towel. All right, let's give this one a try. I'm going to act as though I am a whistleblower, but I'm worried. Whoops.
Thank you for calling JML Law. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For the operator, press 0 or remain on the line. Our team is currently busy attending to other callers. Your call is very important to us. For a dial by name directory, press 9 now or remain on the line to leave a voicemail and we will return your call promptly.
God bless it. Come on, I need somebody to answer the bloody phone. FraudNet, Government Accountability Office. Ask a lawyer. You know what? Why not? I'm going to report him for 1512, 648, and everything else. This is the government information clearinghouse, and yes, there is no such thing as a second subpoena. There is no such thing as denial of a subpoena if you are a government employee. It is a request from your boss. It's a failure to perform your duty. Okay? It's a failure.
Thank you for contacting the Office of Inspector General of the Federal Trade Commission. We regret that we cannot return your call. To file an investigative complaint regarding fraud, waste, or abuse committed against or committed by employees or contractors of the Federal Trade Commission, please visit our website at
No, it's not employees of the Federal Trade Commission. That obviously is the wrong number. Let's see. If you think you've been a victim, FTC, that's Federal Trade Commission again, grants, fraud responsibilities, fraud or misuse of grant funds, reporting alleged mismanagement of federal funds. Here we go. You see, we have to get out of the grant thing for civilian application. We need to get into Office of Research and Integrity Outreach, reporting alleged mismanagement of federal funds. National Defense Authorization Act, prohibition of reprisals. An employee of a contractor, subcontractor, or grantee may not be discharged, demoted, or otherwise discriminated against as a reprisal for disclosing to a person or body described information that the employee reasonably believes is evidence of gross mismanagement of federal contract or grant. Member of Congress, Representative, Inspector General, Federal, Department of Agriculture, Department of Health, Department of Institutes of Health. Oh, we can really blow them up with COVID bullshit. OIG hotline again. I think that's the same number I just called. But you see, no, it isn't. Cool.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're unable to complete your call. To speak to a customer service representative, please hang up and dial *611. Announcement 3. Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
You know what? It's easy in order to not get a criminal report if you just don't answer the phone, huh? Yes, this is what everyone's supporting. And he didn't learn from all the humble pie. Absolutely, you're right. Bye. Neither of you. Person that can't even identify themselves, a person that has not been allowed in anyone else's channel, a person that requires 100 identities just in order to make a single comment, you've got a real problem. Supporting, I'm here for entertainment. No, you're also supporting me. Okay? You tell these assholes to go suck their own dick, okay? As simple as that. They want to sit there and go to everyone else's channel. They don't have anything to say themselves. Except, no, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I'm not getting into that bullshit. These children in adult bodies need to go bye-bye. And they need to stay away from adult conversations. All right. We have an email. That's not going to work. Research Integrity Outlook, contact information of Ross Hickley, Portland. At any time, USM community member may have confidential discussions and consultations about concerns with the RIO and will be counseled about appropriate procedures for reporting allegations. So basically what they have is they call this, but call us first before you report it, so we can walk you through and either water down what you're trying to say or do, or increase it for political reasons. Isn't that interesting that they sit there and have their balance on their intake rather than at the court level? What if I don't want to be identified? You have several options for discussing the suspected discrimination, including discussing it anonymously and hypothetically. If you wish to report information anonymously, Ross Hickley in Maine, an alternative method is to send us a comment via our website without providing your name. Click here to go to our Oreo secured website to submit comments to Rio. My God, people. Okay, they have made it so you can't report. That's what's going on here. None of these agencies are picking up the phone. Report fraud, waste. Okay, let's go Texas. Let's just put Texas. What the hey? Okay, misuse of state money property, expendent FM Texas.gov. payment gratuities, that doesn't matter. Definitions, misuse, to deal with property contrary to an agreement in which the public service holds property. Yes, they hold the property. It is agreement that they are operating in the government interest. The government says, give me those papers over there on that desk. They bloody well produce them. This is from Expendit. There's no reference for phoning. What is fund misappropriation in Texas? Texas man charged with 24 million COVID relief fraud, grant fraud, lawyer in San Antonio, Texas for embezzlement crimes. Also, federal lawyer. Okay, we'll give that a try. I want to talk to somebody on this one. It's real simple. You can't deny a subpoena. It's a legal impossibility. Okay? It's an oxymoron to even consider it. And it's self-authenticating and self-evident. I hired you to do a job, you're not doing it.
How can I help?
Hi there, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I've got a bit of a problem, ma'am. I wish to remain anonymous. I need to get a little bit of advice. And I'm going to speak of this as a third party. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take for an example that I am within the chain of command for the Marcopia County records. And we received a subpoena, of course, but the question I have is that would failing to fulfill that subpoena also constitute 18 U.S.C. 648 misappropriation of funds because I failed to perform my duty as a job.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I need to refer to that as a third party. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here, I'm freaking out, okay? And they've issued a second subpoena, and I started looking at it, and I'm sorry, it's like if I hired you in order to clean up my field, and you just tell me, give me the money, and don't pick up a single piece of litter. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is there someone I can speak to briefly concerning duty as far as this subpoena is concerned?
Yes. Let me see if any of our attorneys are available. Okay, 1 second.
All right. This is going to be interesting, folks, because I don't think this logic's out there. I think that they've submarined the criminal activity and softened it so much in the news that I don't think that general population nor a lot of these experts in the field realize the full consequence of it.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. So right now we don't have any attorneys available. Do you want to leave a number for one of them to give you a call back?
Oh, absolutely not. The question I have is academic. Would there be a intern or one of the assistants available? I just need to know whether or not duty is included in 648 and whether or not I would be obliged to jump a peg in the chain of command if I'm subordinate. If I'm a subordinate, doesn't that orders still stand, and do I have the ability to deliver the documents and fulfill that duty? And if I don't fulfill the duty, am I liable for my boss's lack of duty? I don't know how to describe that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, unfortunately. And we don't have any law clerks here right now. All of our law clerks are actually working via Zoom or remote. So maybe you could give us a call back later, and one of the attorneys might be available then.
I certainly can. The thing of it is, I don't know who I'm hiring or anything, or if even I know have to hire somebody at this point. So, yeah, I do appreciate your time, though.
Yes, of course. Yeah, like I would say maybe in an hour and a half they should be back from lunch and stuff, so they would be available then.
I see. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Okay, come on. Consumer Protection Agency office, Texas. Texas releases $11 billion in stimulus money dedicated to misappropriation of funds, statute of limitations. That falls under conspiracy if it is not discovered, or one of the co-actors within the conspiracy comes forward. Until that happens, the clock doesn't even start on statute of limitations until it's actually exposed. After it's exposed, there is a 2-year, there's variances, but there is generally a 2-year statute of limitations. But the statute of limitations hasn't even started, as none of these actors have come forward to reveal the deception. They argue the point, but they haven't revealed the point. So the statute of limitations has not started for any of this, and all too often these lawyers and politicians stall out, these cases. They stall out investigations. Oh, you can't file a lawsuit until our investigation, or you can't file a lawsuit until this condition. Then the 2 years pass by, and then you can't file at all because it's a known event. And if you don't file within that 2-year period, they stalled you out, and guess what? You have no claim left. It's a wonderful little trick. And it is the beginning of a battle of attrition. You're not going to win a battle of attrition with the government. Report, recover, reinforce. If you think you were contacted by a scam, nope, that's not the one. Report misuse. Oh, here we go. Report misuse of government funds. Great. There's a reward for this. They're probably not going to do a damn thing, but the Hirsch firm. Please click here if you believe you have a case of fraud against the federal or state government. Okay. Confidential federal and state fraud questionnaire. Really? How about just a phone number? People, you're not going to get any phone calls unless you actually have a phone number to call. And you tell people that you can look at all this wonderful hype, and you can't even call them on the phone. Jesus Christ. About us, report tax evasion, SEC whistleblower, confidential SEC fraud questionnaire, report fraud. Details of the DOJ program, that's what I need right there. That's one of them. And then, whoops, here we go. Whistleblower rewards for reporting fraud. And fill in, Hirsch will get back to you right away. If you want to read more about the Department of Justice, okay, let's just look up that. You know, I mean, it makes it so hard in order to do anything when these guys have shut down, you know, every cycle. They shut down one way of reporting and creates another. And then when you go to directory assistance or look anything up, the number's been changed, and you've seen that already demonstrated in order to report something. It's real easy in order to lower the crime rate in your area just simply by the police not answering the phone. You want to lower the crime rate and the statistics, just don't answer the phone. Okay? Let the bodies stack up in the street. Just don't answer the phone. $9.2 million to a whistleblower for immediate release. Washington, D.C., February 23rd, 2021. The Securities and Exchange Commission today announced an award for more than $9.2 million to a whistleblower who provided information that led to a successful related actions of the U.S. Department of Justice, one of which was a non-prosecution agreement or deferred prosecution agreement. The whistleblower previously received award contributions and SEC enforcement action based on the same information supported the award for the related actions, a prerequisite for eligibility for the related action award. Well, we can get somebody in Texas to be mighty rich. Report national, here we go, DOJ. Let's see. Okay, where's the telephone number? Handbook, legal assistance, mission history, donate. Legal assistance. No phone number. They want yours, but man, people, can you see how somebody trying to report a crime cannot be reported at the federal level? Department of Justice offering 10 million whistleblower. I guess they lost 800,000 on that 9 million. Department of Justice offering 10 million reward for information on election interference. Absolutely, I've got that. They refused the subpoena. Okay, great. Where's the telephone number? Oh, I have to give all my information. They can come and kill me before that information is released. Wonderful. How easy was that? This is Whistleblower Network News. Unbelievable, folks. There's no way of doing it. There's no function of doing it. Whistleblowers continue to receive substantial rewards. Whistleblower rewards. Look at all this. But we will reward you with a bullet and then give you money, I guess. I don't know. Download for free. Whistleblower protections. Recent whistleblower cases. Oh, by the way, the FTC is closed. They won't answer the phone. You have to contact them with snail mail. Wow. There's no way of doing it that I can find. All right. I've done this before, and I'm going to go ahead and open the door. And by the way, one of the biggest things that we have against the FBI currently locally is Eric Brandt going to the FBI with me as a reporter to report federal crimes, and they refused him at the gate. They wouldn't even let him in the door. He was accompanied by a reporter to ensure that that report was made, and they didn't even answer the door. Wouldn't even answer the intercom. That's a problem. That's a 1512 violation by itself because they refused to accept the report. So let's do this. Call Texas FBI office. There. What? There we go. Come on. Oh, this was working a minute ago. Man, the internet sucks. Okay. If you want to know why, let's look it up this way then. If you want to know why, it's because of the sunspots. It's not only interfering with RF, radio frequency, it's also now interfering with the copper wires at its intensity. FBI Texas office. Oh, there we go. All right. It's 1-972-559. Whoops. 5,000. Oh, what a neat number. Okay. Boy, are they milking on 3 times 5, huh?
You have reached the Dallas field office of the FBI. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Para español, oprima el 7. If you know your party's extension, you may dial 9 at any time. If you are calling to report a possible internet crime, please email your complaint to www.ic3.gov. Otherwise, please listen to the following options. If you are a sworn law enforcement officer, United States Attorney, or other court-appointed official, please press 1. If you would like to register a complaint, please press 2. If you would like information on an application, please press 3. If you would like to speak with a member of our media or community relations office, please press 4.
We'll give it a try first.
Welcome.
Dallas FBI.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Baffled, confused, and a little bit upset. I have a crime that is being reported.
Help you with?
Well, there's a crime being reported in the news and verified by the state senate in Texas. And I'm calling from WDRN, Wicked Development Radio Network. You're currently on the air. I am concerned about the operation of 18 U.S.C. 1512 and the fact that the FBI is the only ones that are supposed to take the reports. You have open broadcast under court rules 803, I'm sorry, and 903, which is being broadcast within the public realm, that a subpoena was denied. If the subpoena was denied by a government worker, that is dereliction of duty. That is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 648. Now, as being the PR officer for the FBI and having this reported publicly, do you have any statement concerning the enforcement of the subpoena issued by Texas and the dereliction of duty by the sub employees?
Sir, do you you have a direct issue I can help you
Yes,
with?
I did. I just explained to you I'm inquiring under 18 U.S.C. 1512, obstruction of a witness or government process. We have a clear obstruction of government process, which the FBI is the only agency, and they have basically refused a report. Under 18 U.S.C. 1512, you're incapable of doing that. So my question is, who at the agency is going to wind up being arrested under 1812 for refusal of a report from the public domain, also confirmed under the court rules of 803-903 for submission of third party or hearsay published in a newspaper. We also have the documents concerning the subpoena, which is documented within the state records, which you can clearly show yourself. We have misappropriation of funds under 18 U.S.C. 648, dereliction of duty, failure to perform, and there is no action whatsoever being taken by the FBI. I would like to know why, as the PR department for the FBI, and yes, you, sir, you are on the air.
So to begin, this is not the PR center. This is just the call center. I'm just able to
I was given an option in order to reach the public release and public relations department of pressing 4.
Okay. So I can take down your name and number and then get you in contact with someone who can better assist you.
I'm sure that there would be someone that would be able to better spin this. But sir, if I hired you in order to replace the door on my house, and you're demanding payment for not having done your work, and you deny placing the thing on your house, and yet you remain on my payroll, that's misappropriations of funds.
Can I take your name and number down? Can I take your
I
name and
doubt
number
that.
down?
Again, I told you that I'm calling from WDRN, Wicked Development Radio Network, and the fact that you're on the air, you might be able to find that, on the internet. But this inquiry is live. It would be difficult to accept an hour.
Well, if you do not want to give me your name and number, unfortunately, there's nothing else I can do for you today.
That's incorrect, sir. Under 18 U.S.C. 1512, you are not only obligated in order to take this information, you cannot hang up on me. You just included yourself in the crime. You see, that's the problem. Okay, they cannot refuse an inquiry like that. That's misappropriate. That is a 648 violation by itself. I don't know what to do with this. Well, then go away, brother, my cup. Okay, if you can't stand the show, do you realize there's thousands, maybe even 10,000 other shows you can watch? There might even be 100 out there. Why don't you go find them instead of bothering my audience that is paying attention and has an understanding? If you're in kindergarten, this is not the show that you need to be in. This show is for people that are 18 and over and are at least, an adult regardless of their physical age. Tell you what, we're going to play a little bit of music here. And I'm going to see if I can bring up one other thing off the air here. Just a second. And
turn it in, turn it up, and let your neighbors hear a real stereo. The Hawk Ethernet Radio.
Wow, I just bumped into all the federal law concerning viruses and the handling of them.
Brought to you here on the Sub-Ether Waveband.
Here we go.
broadcasting
Bribery,
around the galaxy,
craft, and
around the
conflicts
clock.
of interest.
And we'll be saying a big hello to all intelligent
Maybe
life forms
bribery, but I
everywhere.
can't show that.
And to everyone else out there, the secret is to bang the rocks together, guys.
My computer video just crashed again. Ladies and gentlemen, I need an AMD card. There's nothing I can do. All right, you all have a good one. I guess that was my show. You all do your own research. I suggest you start in the 150s to 200s, which leads up to 241. But we have most of our official misbehavior seems to be also in the 200 series. So if you're researching this, or you're doing your own research, take a look at 18 USC and then the 200 series. Thank you for tuning in. May God be with you. Have a great day, people.